If you think punch power comes from big arms and hours in the gym, you got lied to. Ramon Dino is one of the most muscular humans alive. Nobody is calling him the hardest puncher on the planet. Real punch power is not about size, it is physics. And once you understand the physics, a smaller guy with the right mechanics will hit harder than a bigger guy who never learned this. The classic mistake that kills your power. Almost everyone makes the same mistake when they try to hit hard. They tense the bicep, clamp the traps, throw the arm forward like they are trying to push a broken car uphill. What comes out is slow, telegraphed, and carries barely any real force behind it. The punch announces itself 3 seconds before it arrives, and the power behind it, whatever was there, got eaten up by the tension in the arm before the fist even left the face. The arm is not the power source. The arm is the barrel of the gun. The ammunition is loading somewhere else entirely, and most people never find it. Think about how a whip works. When it cracks, the energy does not start at the tip. It starts at the handle, travels the entire length of the rope, accelerates as it goes, and by the time it reaches the tip, it is moving fast enough to break the sound barrier. Your body is the whip. The handle is your foot planted against the floor. The rope is your legs, hips, core, shoulder, arm. The tip is your fist. The energy starts at the ground, not the shoulder, not the bicep, the ground. Stand in your stance right now. Feet shoulder width apart, slight diagonal, lead foot forward. Now, instead of thinking about throwing your hand, push the ground away with the ball of your back foot. Rotate that heel outward like you are crushing something flat underneath it. Feel what just happened to your hip. It snapped forward with almost no effort in the arm at all. That hip movement is the first gear of real punch power. Everything after it, the shoulder, the arm, the fist, is just following what the hip started. The axis here is the part that most people miss even after they understand the hip rotation. The torso has to stay on a perfectly vertical axis through the entire movement. Imagine a steel rod running from the top of your head straight down through your spine into the floor. Your hips rotate around that rod. Your shoulder rotates around that rod. Everything rotates around it, but the rod itself never tilts. Most people lean forward when they try to hit hard. They reach for the target, and the moment they lean, the axis breaks, the balance disappears, half the kinetic energy gets thrown sideways into the air, and the face gets left out in front with no protection. The core is what keeps the axis locked. The same core stability built through planks, front levers, and leg raises. That is what holds the torso upright while the hips rotate underneath it. This is where that training pays off directly. Body stays vertical, hips rotate hard, arm stays completely relaxed. The arm only locks at the exact millisecond of contact, not before. Relaxation creates speed. Speed combined with body mass creates force. Tensing early destroys both. The rear hand. One detail that changes everything. The rear hand, the cross, is where most of the real power lives. And there is one timing detail that almost nobody gets right. The difference between a punch that passes through someone and a punch that barely grazes them. It is when you release the hand during the hip rotation. Release the hand early, at the start of the hip turn, and the punch curves. It becomes a wide hook or an open cross that loses most of its force before contact. It looks like a punch. It does not hit like one. Hold the hand in guard position and let the hip rotate first, all the way. Then release the arm only at the very end of the rotation, like releasing an arrow from a fully drawn bow at maximum tension. When you do it this way, the fist travels in a perfectly straight line, compact, clean, and it carries double the pressure of the early release version because the full hip rotation loaded behind it before the arm even moved. This is why the 1-2 combination works. The jab sets the distance. The cross arrives from a hip that is already fully loaded and waiting. The second punch hits harder than the first, not because of effort, but because of timing. The hook at close range, 2 grips, 2 distances. Most people throw the hook the same way regardless of how far the target is. Same hand position, same angle, every time. That is a mechanical mistake that costs real power depending on the distance. When the target is close, within your forearm length, turn the thumb upward, palm facing inward. This position activates the pulling muscles of the back and bicep and locks the wrist joint rigid. At that distance, this grip hits like concrete. When the target is slightly further, a step back, arm closer to extended, flip the palm downward. This small adjustment changes the shoulder angle, protects the wrist from buckling on impact, and gives extra reach. At extended range, this grip delivers 4 times more power than the thumb up position. Close range, thumb up. Extended range, palm down, not theory. A direct mechanical adjustment that changes what the arm can deliver at each distance. 2 grips, 2 situations. Getting it wrong at the wrong distance either breaks your wrist or loses half the power before it lands. The drop cross, for when someone bigger is coming at you, someone larger, heavier, more aggressive is is walking straight at you. Trying to match their force directly does not work. The physics are against you. Their weight is already moving forward, and your punch into that incoming mass without any adjustment is going to absorb most of its own energy, just stopping their momentum. The drop cross changes that equation entirely. Instead of throwing the punch at eye level and absorbing the impact standing straight, you rotate the hip and drop the body weight simultaneously at the exact millisecond the fist makes contact. What happens is the downward mass of the body adds to the forward force of the punch. Two directions of force meeting at one point at the same time. The target does not just absorb a punch, they absorb a punch and your body weight dropping through them simultaneously. The legs make this possible. The same explosive leg strength built through squats and jumps. That is what controls and drives the drop. The timing is everything. Drop too early and you lose the punch. Drop too late and the body weight misses the contact window. Hip rotation and drop together at the moment of impact, not before, not after. The 5-minute training routine. All of this works in shadow boxing, but it only becomes real when the body is tested under fatigue and with a target that pushes back. Until then, it is just movement. Here is the 5-minute progressive routine to lock in all 4 mechanics: hip rotation, vertical axis, rear hand timing, and drop cross. Minute 1, single shots only, no combinations. Every punch is isolated. Full focus on rotating the heel of the back foot, keeping the torso vertical on the axis, and staying completely relaxed in the arm until contact. No rushing, 1 punch. Reset, 1 punch. Minute 2, 2-punch sequences. Jab, slip, then cross with delayed release. The cross does not leave the guard until the hip has fully rotated. Feel the difference in power between releasing early and releasing late. This is the minute where the timing starts to click. Minute 3, close range hooks, shorter distance, 3-punch minimum, hooks only. Practice switching between thumb up at close range and palm down as the arm extends. The adjustment should feel automatic by the end of the minute. Minute 4, discipline round. Fatigue is building, shoulders burning. 4 punches mandatory, 2 to the head, 2 to the body along the floating rib line. Guard stays up between every single punch. The moment it drops, the rep does not count. This is where the habit is built under stress. Minute 5, full combination with drop cross. Everything together, straight punches to save energy. Then enter close range and finish with the drop cross. Hip rotation and body weight dropping simultaneously at contact. Full commitment on every rep. 5 minutes. No equipment. The mechanics that make punch power real built into the body through repetition under progressive fatigue. What these mechanics build is a kind of physical competence that most people spend their entire lives without. The ability to generate real force efficiently from any distance against any size. Not through muscle, through understanding. A guy who trains these mechanics for 2 months will hit harder than someone twice his size who never learned them. Not because he is stronger, because he is transferring his body weight correctly and they are not. That gap does not close with size, it closes with knowledge and repetition. Subscribe to watch new videos every week. Everyone built to give you something real you can use. Drop illegal in the comments if you are training this tonight.